Hello there, this is Cece with Going Solo Network, WGSN-D Going Solo. And I am so pleased to have with me Heidi Garrett. Heidi Garrett is a licensed massage therapist, a life coach, and a Reiki master. She currently lives in Tampa, Florida, owns an independent massage practice. She also writes fiction, nonfiction, and posts various articles and blogs on sites regarding wellness and law of attraction. She has a new book out, and we're very excited about it. It is called Finding Happiness and Finding Wealth. So welcome, Heidi, to the show.
Thank you, Cece. I'm excited to be here.
It is great to have you. Now, we are going to be featuring you in our Meet the Author's Corner, and I'm so pleased to be able to do that. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into doing what you're doing into massage, and then we'll go into some of the tips that we can help our listeners with today.
Thank you. Actually, it's a funny story of how I got into massage. My journey has been kind of a long one. I was looking for a purpose in life, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I was definitely very frustrated, angry, disappointed, many of the same feelings most people have. And a strange thing happened. My mom bought me a psychic reading, which is totally out of character for her. And one of the things that particular psychic at the time told me was that I was going to go back to school and I was going to learn Reiki. I had no idea what Reiki was at that time, so I had to look it up, found out what it was, which is a form of energy healing, and learned that in order to be able to share that with the masses here in Florida and actually get compensated for it, I had to either become a minister or a licensed massage therapist. I chose the massage therapist route at that point in time. I'm certainly thrilled that I did and wouldn't look at it any differently. And the opportunity to heal and help inspire others to become better has been well worth it.
So massage, tell us a little bit about that. Why would that help individuals?
One of the things I discovered about massage, when I first started, I had no clue. I thought that it was just like many people think. It's a luxury. It feels good in the temporary. Definitely it gives you physical relief. One of the things I learned along the way is it actually can help you work with your mental, emotional, and even spiritual stress, which is what causes most of our illnesses out there in the world, is what's going on the inside, not necessarily the outside. And that's where massage is such a great asset, because not only are you working on the physical, but you're also working on the emotional, mental as well.
You know, I so agree with that, because at a time when I was going through a bad period right before my divorce, I found myself going to getting pedicures often, and not for the fact of getting the actual pedicure. It's because I needed that massage, and it seemed to release some of this pent-up anxiety that I was going through and made me a lot more relaxed. And so I found myself doing it almost weekly because I just needed that to be able to get me through. So I get it. I totally get that you do need to have something to release the muscles and to release going on within your body, because we don't really see it. It's not something that physically we can see, but it is definitely there holding us back.
Absolutely. And that's where a lot of our illnesses come from, and even mental holding back is all coming from that. Blockages that happen in the body through traumatic experiences, divorce being one of many that are out there, definitely.
Right. Now, are there certain areas within our body that affects different parts of us? I mean, I was always getting like a foot and leg type of massage. What would that affect? Does that affect anything, or is that a silly question?
No, Cece, actually, it's a brilliant question. And if there was only one type of massage to get out there, I would highly suggest feet, because the feet are linked to every other part of the body. And that's where reflexology comes from. One of the blessings that I had when I was in massage school is I had an AP acupuncture physician who was one of my instructors, and he also did Chinese medicine. So I was lucky enough to get to learn firsthand some of those specific pressure points that are on the feet, the hands, the ears, that definitely affect the entire body. So if you're going to get any other kind of massage in the world, the feet's probably the best one to get for physical, mental, and emotional benefits.
If you're under a lot of stress, go get a foot massage. Most certainly. That's definitely what we should do. Well, tell us about your book, because I really do find it very exciting to be able to finding happiness and finding wealth. Let's divide that up. So finding happiness, tell us a little bit about that.
One of the things I discovered in life is that in order to have anything and everything you want, you have to start with feeling good about who you are, where you are, and what you are. And it really boils down to being happy. And that's one of the things that inspired me in this book is an ongoing journey for myself to find happiness. And what was the steps I took to get there? And when I could share that journey with others and even give them practical exercises to put in place so that they can achieve it for themselves, that's where I can see the major results happening.
Now, so often I've heard that happiness is something that you cause or create yourself. Your happiness is dependent upon yourself, not the other party. So you can't go into a relationship thinking that they're going to make you happy. It really, happiness is from within. What would you say about that?
Absolutely. I'm 100% spot on with that. One of the things that happened for me in my life is that I had to learn that nobody else is responsible for what I feel. That's ultimately up to me. And that's true for everyone else out there as well. It's all about your journey, your happiness, and what is happiness for you specifically. I think that's where a lot of people get confused, is they don't know what makes them happy. They don't even necessarily even know what happiness is. We think we know when we get all these books and we read these different information, but really learning the practical way of finding that is sometimes quite a journey, especially when you're at that point in your life where you're feeling depressed, gone through again a traumatic experience, a loss of some sort. Finding that way to feeling happy can be quite a challenge.
Absolutely. And so often, if we're a little bit older, if we've traveled through our lives and we're a little bit older, we start to take stock of where we're at. And so often there's a disappointment that you thought you would be in a different place, just a different environment as to what's happening to you. We so often look at our retirement years as being our golden years, and actually, in reality, our golden years tends to be quite challenging, and it's not what we expect. So therefore, I think your book would really be great, because it's really evaluating yourself, isn't it? And analyzing what's good for you to be able to draw that out. And I really think that's good to make people really get more in check with themselves. So I really like that. Do you have any tips that you can give the audience to maybe start on that path of really thinking about your own happiness, your own life? Something I wanted to share with you just really quickly before you do the tips, and maybe you can include that in your tip giving. But I was listening to a program this very morning, and it was telling how women are so lonely. And it's like 60% of women are very lonely. They go through a very lonely patch in their lives. And I tend to wonder, as I was thinking about that and knowing that we were going to have this conversation, that I wondered if, and I know I had to talk about, being older and going through things and realizing our golden years, things aren't the same. But I'm also wondering if women also experience that, because go through raising our children, raising our family, and then, okay, now here we are. So now what do? Kids are gone. Our life is supposed to be wonderful, and we find ourselves lonely because either we're divorced or our partner generally has kind of created their own life because we've been busy raising the kids and doing what we needed to do. Our family has been our world. So how do we backtrack? How do we get that, in our latter years in our life? How do we figure out what makes us happy, and how can we kind of start all over again, jumpstart ourselves?
Great question, Cece. One of the biggest things I learned is that getting started on finding happiness is really about doing a self-inventory of what kinds of things get you to feel good on the inside. And again, it comes back to defining really specifically what is happiness. And ultimately, that's what on the inside gets you to smile and keep smiling, is how I look at that. So the idea is to find what are things in life that get you to smile. And it doesn't always have to be around your children and your family. You may, as you start to do this journey, realize that there's a lot more things out there that you enjoy and that you get pleasure in. Building relationships is one of the key components, obviously, to having a fulfilling life. So getting out there and surrounding yourself around like-minded people. That's one of the things I actually did for myself when I first started my journey, as a starting over journey myself, very similar. And I joined a success club that surrounded me with successful people that also had ambitions to support each other in their dreams, their goals. And it really fulfilled me in such a way that I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. And the relationships I have now are even more authentic and more genuine than ever.
That's so important, to really surround yourself with other people. I think a lot of the loneliness that maybe women are feeling is the fact that they have used their family as their environment. And when we get older, our environment changes. And I think it's with men too. I'm not saying it's totally women, but I do feel it's with men too. And I see it a lot with the divorce support group. And so I really encourage them to find friends, make a lot of friends. Don't just make one friend, make a lot of friends. Surround yourself with people that you enjoy being with. And then also activities. I think being active also, number one, releases a lot of stress and anxiety. Put your mind at another place, but also it gives you some exercises and doing some different things. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And it's not as difficult to do activities as people might think. It's really thinking about, again, what things do you like to do? Go out there and do them. And by going out there doing them, you're going to bring other people into your life that are interested in the same types of activities. And that's going to build stronger, more long-lasting friendships as well, because you already have something in common to start from.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about finding the wealth, the other side of her book. And I think that's going to be quite exciting, and I'm looking forward to it myself. So we have Heidi Garrett with us. She's a licensed massage therapist, life coach, and Reiki master. She's an author of a new book that's coming out. It's called Finding Happiness and Finding Wealth, and we're going to be talking with her a little bit more about the Finding Wealth side when we get back. So you are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the Author's Corner. Meet the author. I'm CC Schatz, and I look forward to talking with you again as soon as we get back. Grab a cup of coffee, and we'll be right back with you.
You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Welcome back. This is CC Schatz with the Author's Corner, Meet the Author, and you are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And we are so pleased to have with us today Heidi Garrett, and she is a licensed massage therapist, life coach, and a Reiki master. She currently lives in the Tampa Bay, Florida area. She owns an independent massage practice. She also writes fiction, nonfiction, and posts various articles and blogs on sites regarding wellness and the law of attraction, which I absolutely love that, Heidi. And welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you, Cece.
It is so great to have you. Now, I know you've written this book, and it's a fabulous book. It's called Finding Happiness and Finding Wealth. And I know that you're a life coach. So tell us a little bit about you getting into the life coaching and how you came about actually writing the book.
Thanks for asking me about that. Actually, life coaching is something that came as a result of being a massage therapist. As I started to see more people come to the table, I realized there's way more work that needs to be done than usually can get done on the table. I usually have an hour, 90 minutes, but some of the challenges, I should say, are actually deeper rooted and require a little bit more attention and a more personal accountability, which again is something I just can't do when I'm doing massage. That's what led me to starting the life coaching side of my business, as well as writing the book. I've been writing since I've been old enough to hold a pen. It's been my passion. I love to write. This book just came flowing out of me as I really started to think, what is some of the biggest challenges that I face, first of all? And if I face it, I know other people face it too. And that's what inspired me to write this book, so that I can share it with others and help people get a little bit deeper work done that they may not be able to get done otherwise.
Well, that's beautiful. I am a life coach, and I think it's so important. And it really does help people to be able to talk to them and look at life a little bit different and kind of be able to move forward through some of the struggles that they're having. So I really commend you for doing that. And I love the approach that you're taking, because it's all about creating really your own, taking stock of yourself, creating your own life, creating your own journey, and doing that in a very positive way. And I love the life attraction and bringing the happiness into your world. Now, let's talk about the wealth part of it, because money really does affect people. If you're not making money, if you're not able to pay your bills, your life is tough. It starts to get tough, and it really weighs you down, both physically and mentally. And so tell us a little bit about finding wealth, not telling us everything, because we want to definitely buy your book and read it. Tell us a little bit about that segment of your book.
Right. Actually, that is one of the biggest hurdles I think almost everybody comes through, is how do you find wealth? And that comes back to, how do you define wealth? In most cases, people are defining wealth by what the masses, again, on the outside are saying wealth is. How much money is in your bank account, how much property you own, how much jewelry you have, or gold assets. And that can actually be counterproductive to anyone that's actually wanting to achieve money, success, wealth, because that's not how many of us are hardwired to feel. When we start to think about those things, we actually get hardwired to feel the opposite. And that actually creates a self-sabotaging cycle, preventing any kind of wealth or money to come into your life. That's what this segment really approaches, is breaking that habit and filling it in with things that really do help you feel wealthy. And in doing so, that's where wealth is coming into your life.
I love that. I really do. I mean, money itself per se, just for myself personally, is never been a big factor for me. To me, it's really creating a whole balance of everything. And I know that my ex and I used to kind of go back and forth with this, because to him, it was all about money and status. And so to me, we were totally different. It was more about family, united, those type of things, and happiness. And we had a different way of looking at wealth. And I think that's an important factor when you're looking at relationship building. What is your definition of wealth? What is your definition of a lot of different things? And so sharing and talking and really being more open and understanding each other, I think, is very valuable. So I love what you're doing here and this book that you're bringing out, because I think it will definitely make people stop and think about themselves and really, what is it inside that's making them tick and unhappy, happy? What is their definition of wealth? What is it they need to do? So I think it's very cool.
Well, thank you, Cece. And that's exactly why I designed it. And I wanted to keep it as simple as possible for people, so that at any level, they can jump right in and start getting results immediately.
Now, if someone wanted to try to start making a list maybe of some things with pertains to wealth, or trying to determine what their value of wealth is, what would your suggestion be on that?
My suggestion would actually be, go back to the original exercise. I have really only 2 exercises in the book, and one is really all you need. And it's really about creating a happiness list, because from there you can actually build your wealth, but you have to know what makes you happy first.
Let me ask you, do you have to be local within your area to be able to do the life coaching or the Reiki healing?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, the Reiki can be done anywhere at any time. That's one of the things that I love about it, is that energy travels no matter where you're at. And life coaching with today's technology can really be done via internet, via phone, text, whatever avenue works best for the individual. And that's what I have set in place to help assist anyone, anywhere in the world, actually, that needs help.
So let's talk just a little bit about the Reiki healing, because I'm not that knowledgeable about Reiki. So Reiki is about energy. And I have been told that when people meet me, that I have very high energy. Now, what does that mean?
I know, right? Kind of one of those mysterious things. What is energy? Again, back to defining what is energy. And That is in essence the life force. Everything has a frequency of vibration. It's what the pulse of life really is. I mean, you look at plants, you see there's a vitality, you can feel it within our cells. If you put your hands together and you can actually feel that pulsing between the hands, especially if you have a high energy vibration already, you can almost feel that pulse. That is the energy. It's also known as chi or ki. Very similar, there's many different ways to say it, but it's all pretty much the same thing. And the neat thing about that energy is that we can send that out anywhere at any time because we are vibrational pulses. We actually have electrical magnetic pulses that can be radiating out from us. And we also receive those pulses as well. So we're really pretty amazing beings and machinery and creatures when we really think about that. And that's why something like Reiki is so powerful, because you can send out an emotional signal or mental signal and affect others in an either good or a bad way. But obviously I intend to do it in a good way and help create more positive results in other people's lives.
Because I've been told, when I meet people, especially those that are familiar with Reiki and different psychic readings and such, when I meet individuals that have that gift, I would say, they always say, oh, wow, you've got high energy, or you have an aura around me, and that kind of thing. And I'm always like, really? Because I feel pretty tired today, so I'm like, I can't believe they're saying that. But it's different. It's the vibrations and things that you have. So now let me ask, if you have a low vibration, can you raise that vibration up?
Absolutely. And one of the misunderstood things is that certain people can do it and certain people can't do Reiki. Actually, everybody can do energy work. It's something that you can learn to do and enhance your energy level for yourself. I also do Qigong as well, and I'm a Qigong facilitator, which is, I know you're going to say, what is that?
Yeah, I'm going to say, what the heck is that?
It's where Tai Chi actually came from. And the essence of it is really building up your energy level for yourself and then being able to expand it out to the others. That's what I love doing. I'll build up my own personal energy is Qigong. And I do that every day if I can, sometimes more than others, but I love the effects of the exercises.
Takes us back to the law of attraction. It's what you put out there is going to come back to you. So the more, and I feel this, the more we work on ourselves as an individual, the better we can make ourselves as an individual. I would say the more positive people we attract into our lives. So I really love this.
Absolutely. The like energy attracts like energy, which is a little different than like attracts like. And that's what makes it powerful. So if you're looking for something specific, by thinking about that, by putting yourself into that energy of attracting that into your life, you're going to attract it into you. But you have to be on that same vibrational level, that same energy level. And that comes from building up your own energy as well. Definitely.
Wonderful. Well, I think there's a wealth of information that you have that you can share to our listeners. And so I thank you so much for that. So I do hope that everyone does contact you to be able to get more information on this and to be able to really tune into themselves and, live their best life. So thank you so much, Heidi.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Great advice. So tell us now, how can we, if we decide we'd like to go to you for a massage, how do we contact you?
Oh, definitely. The best way to reach me is at atlasmassageservice.com. All my contact information is in that website, and you can set up an appointment online. That's definitely the quickest, easiest way to get an appointment.
And so now if they want to talk to you about the life coaching and also the Reiki, can they contact you at the same site?
The better site for the coaching would be auroralightLifeCoaching.com. There's a specific form they can fill out, so I can get a little more detailed information as far as that goes. The Reiki, they can definitely reach me through the massage website, definitely.
Okay. Do you have a link on the massage website to go into the Aurora? The Aurora one? Okay.
There should be a link there. If not, they can still contact me, and I can still work through them in either site, absolutely.
Right. And you're also on Facebook, too.
Absolutely.
So reach you right there on Facebook, which is great. So definitely contact her on
Atlas massage service.
So definitely contact you there regarding that. I think what's so cool and it's really neat is that you can really bring a lot to someone. You can create that balance. So you can give them a massage, which will ease up some of the tension and some of the things that they're going through, but also help them with not getting so uptight and so with the life coaching. So it's like a full circle. You're able to be able to help them with all of that. So thank you so much for doing what you do.
Well, thank you, Cece. Yeah, it's definitely a very rewarding journey for me, and I can't imagine doing anything different since I've started this path.
Well, at the close of the show, is there anything you would like to share? Any final information?
Oh, the book is actually scheduled to release, Finding Happiness, Finding Wealth. Print book will be available within 4 to 6 weeks, depending on whether you want to go Amazon to order it or through Barnes & Noble or any of the other outlets.
The name of the book is Finding Happiness, Finding Wealth, and so you can get that right on Kindle. And then also you can reach Heidi Garrett, the atlasmassageservice.com, and then also the Aurora, which there's a link there right on the site. And you can reach her on Facebook and contact her there. She'll send her a private message. She'll message you right back and get all the information for you that you need. So definitely contact her if you really want to start putting together a program for yourself. If you say to yourself, you know what, I'm just not as happy as I think I could be, and then try to start analyzing what that is, and she can help you with that. So I think she can put together a whole program for you to be able to help you create your own personal happiness, and that's really what life is all about. I mean, it's so, to think that we go through life being unhappy and then allowing that unhappiness to affect our health and our wellness. It's just such a shame when we can actually do something about it. So I encourage all the listeners out there today to definitely take stock of yourself. And if you want change in your life, let's make it happen. Let's do it. Let's give Heidi Garrett a call and let's make it happen for you. So that's what it's all about. So thank you, Heidi, for being on the show.
Well, thank you, Cece. It was a lot of fun.
It was great. Well, this is Cece Schatz with the Author's Corner, Meet the Author, and also Going Solo with Cece, and listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. It was great having you here with us, Heidi, and I do appreciate it. And we love having you listeners each and every time. So I hope you will tune into this show and all the other shows that we have on WGSN-DB. And we thank you very much for being such loyal listeners. Bye for now, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Gotta keep reading.